Hello, Ryari Fushimitsu here, and welcome to Let's Play Ape Escape 2, Part 10. So now we're finally going after Monkey Red. He's the guy that stole Pipachi from us, or Pipachi from us, whoever his name is.
I'm Red, the leader of the Freaky Five, and nobody makes me wait.
Ah, it's you! Give Pipachi back!
You'll have to fight me first. If you can beat me, you can have your Pipachi. We've already transferred the data into the lethargy laser, so we couldn't care less about that pesky Pochi anyway.
You serious?
You bet I am. But since I'm the leader, I'm super strong. I can't wait to blast you with my attacks of fury. Ooh, I'm burning up thinking about it. Nothing you can do is gonna put this fire out, pal. Yes! Are you ready for this?
He says he's a leader and he's super strong because of it. At the same time, it also would make him super cocky as well, too, which is why we're gonna defeat him easy. He's actually kind of a Monkey Red, or the Red Monkey is kind of a pushover in this game. All he does, he just jumps around. His attacks are very predictable. He's easy to dodge. He makes himself get dizzy a lot of the time, too. He's actually kind of ditzy a lot, too. He doesn't really know how to defeat us properly, which is exactly why he's going to lose to us. And now pretty much all the Freaky Monkey 5, or most of them, have kind of lost to us at this point, so they're not much of a chance against Hikaru. And so I'm not sure if that's just because he's a superhuman or what I said in the last video or not. But it might just be because the Freaky Monkey 5, they're a bunch of pushovers. I bet they just got clones of Mickey Mouse and they would have done a much better job fighting against Hikaru than these Freaky Monkey 5. They're weak, they're wimp. They're all wimps. All 5 of them are wimps. Wonder why they call themselves the Freaky Monkey 5. Well, they never call themselves the Burly Monkey 5 or the Strong Monkey 5 or something like that. No, the Freaky Monkey 5. I bet being freaky, part of that would include being wimpy. They should call themselves the Wimpy Monkey 5 or something like that. That would have been a better name for them, considering that they all go down like wimps in this game. Either that, or maybe I'm just a master at this game. I don't really consider myself to be an overly top master, but if I could beat for this whole game somewhat easy or simple, then yeah, I guess you probably could call me a master at Ape Escape 2. I've played this game a lot in the last little bit, and so, yeah, I guess that makes sense. And the more you play, the better you get. I bet I'd be a master at the Super Smash Bros. Games. I played those games way more often than I actually did. I haven't played any of those Smash Bros. Games in a very long time. I don't even remember last time I played a Smash Bros. Game. I can imagine Ape Escape appearing in a Smash Bros. Game. Maybe since Sony's not doing anything with Ape Escape, maybe Nintendo could buy them out and they could appear in the new Smash Bros. Games. That'd be a funny idea. I doubt that'll ever happen, though. But it does sound like a funny idea, though. And Red Monkey seems to like to think he's strong. He can pick up dinosaurs from. Maybe he's the one behind this whole cloning DNA of dinosaurs. Maybe he was the real villain of Jurassic Park all along. Screw Newman from Seinfeld. He was the real villain behind Jurassic Park. And look at that. We beat him enough times in my simple stunt club and he just got a TKO right there. And we caught him. Look at that. What a pushover.
Pipachi! Oh, are you hurt? Oh, thank goodness you're okay.
This is no time for celebration, young Hikaru. It seems that Spectre kidnapped Pipachi in order to get the data on humans needed to finish this lethargy laser. Now that they've input the data, it won't be long before they fire the laser. You must hurry.
Dr. Phil really seems sure of himself. He seems to be an expert on the lethargy laser and what its purpose is supposed to be.
Top banana?
Yeah, we totally deserve Top Banana for capturing all those monkeys all at once. Heck, we deserve more than Top Banana. If we're in the army, we should get promoted for this. We should be a frickin' general for all this stuff we've done.
Get harder from now on.
Yeah, no crap, Dr. Phil. It always gets more challenging from now on. That's kind of like what that fairy from Rayman keeps saying. Oh, Rayman, things are not going to get much easier from here on out. Yeah, of course, no crap. So now we're going to the Skyscraper City. I have no idea what city this is in the world this is. There's millions of cities in the world that look like this. And oh look, we're getting another useless gadget. The magnet. Boy, it could be like the magnet beam from the first Mega Man game where it could create platforms. That would be fun. That would be really good. But no, it's just a stupid magnet that allows us to connect to things. Sure, it's going to save our lives later, so I'm probably going to get burned for calling it stupid. But it's not one of the best gadgets in this game. This is never one of those few gadgets that only exists in this game. We don't even use it a lot, too. If you get it kind of late in the game, there aren't very many times in this game that I actually use it. So it actually is a useless gadget for the most part. We actually aren't very far in this game in terms of how many levels there are, because a lot of the game is going back to levels you already cleared before to capture remaining monkeys. And of course, right there at the top, we're gonna give us, something we need the magnet for, to move this big annoy. At least they don't make us go for training again, as I said earlier. I still give a lot of praise to Ape Escape 2 for not forcing training on us like what the first game did. It's actually an improvement in this game. Look at that, we already got a monkey right there to capture. We have another like whack-a-mole monkey thing like that here too we could capture. Look at that, it's really easy to capture these monkeys. It's like the game's giving us free monkeys. They keep telling us the game's gonna get more and more challenging. And is this game really getting more and more challenging? Was this letting us capture monkeys like this for this, like really easily capture monkeys? This isn't getting more challenging, it's actually getting easier. It's almost like the monkeys are giving up almost. If they realize they're gonna lose, they realize that if we made it this far in the game, we're probably not gonna give up now. So probably figure, what's the point in trying, maybe? And that's what they're thinking about. It's almost like in that Philosoma game I Let's Played over 2 years ago. But the first 2 levels of this game are hard as ass. It's really hard to get through the first 2 levels, but the last 2 levels are kind of a pushover. That game actually really dumbs down the difficulty in the last 2 levels of the game. And so we have to move this staircase, this metallic staircase thing. It's obviously magnetic. So anything that has that symbol means it's magnetic, right? In theory, some coins could have that symbol on them too, because some coins are magnetic, but mostly because a lot of old coins used to be made out of like pure materials like copper and silver and stuff like that. But nowadays they seem to make them out of alloys. Why do you think modern pennies can be cut with scissors easy? I actually knew someone in middle school that actually cut a penny in half once with a pair of scissors. That's because pennies are, very weak these days. It's easy to bend them and destroy them. And so, it's kind of one pathway, or at least right now there's only really one pathway in this level, just to walk into this office building. I think this is supposed to be an office building or something like that, where it's guarded by these flamethrower pig enemy things that we have to easily destroy. Stun Club, collect some coins. You might notice my coin count's lower than it was before. I actually did a bunch of grinding, so I think for more health and lives and things like that in that slot machine thing. It gave me a lot of them. It gave me a lot of like extra stuff I didn't even really need. It's just those some like bonus photos and monkey fables. They're not that great. I didn't think you guys wanted to see any of that, so I kind of cut that out of the game. There's plenty of other videos and stuff like that, and it's mostly boring and tedious. I don't think you guys wanted to watch me pretty much sit there and grind for like half an hour or more. And look at that, some of the enemies even have the metal, or wearing metal helmets now that could only be defeated if you use a magnet on them. The game's really forcing you to use the magnet. But it's gonna be short-lived, because pretty soon we're gonna get a gadget that's gonna make that completely useless. Well, once we gotta get his shield protection off, they're kind of like sitting ducks almost. They're kind of cowards. They're almost like those things from Sonic the Hedgehog, those Orbinaut things that throw those orbiting spiky balls at you. But then once they lose all them, they're pretty much useless. And so there, I wonder how much that weighs. It must be pretty strong and heavy if the Hikaru can move. I'm starting to become more and more convinced at this point that Hikaru is some sort of magical god thing that's really strong, can make things fly, and he can survive. It's like he can take an unreal amount of punishment to an extent. He can jump pretty high, he can jump over things and use his gadgets. He actually is pretty powerful, actually. He actually is like an underrated god being. If they ever make another testament to the Bible, he's probably going to be in it as being like a superhero type figure or something like that. He might even become the basis for modern religions. New religions could be formed over Hikaru and his fight against Spectre and Ape Escape 2. Yeah, a sequel to some video game ends up becoming some biblical piece or something like that, some piece of biblical epic proportions or something like that. So it's good to capture the lives. You need as many lives in this game as possible. Oh, look, there's a monkey there. It's a white pants monkey. They throw bombs at you in this game. I don't think this one did because I just caught him. And he was a slacker. See how you're a slacker, right? You're a slacker like your father. And I bet his father was a slacker too, and now he's a slacker right here. That's how we caught him so easy. He was a wimp, a pushover, a coward. So yeah, I simply use the RC card to open to this moat here, or I think it's like a moat like what castles have back in the day. But this is, I think, still in an office building. I wonder why an office building has so much water flowing for it. And there's fish in the water, too. This is some weird kind of office building. Imagine if the people from The Office worked in a building like this. I don't think I'd go in there. Oh, there's a monkey there. Oh, look, it's one of those hostile black monkeys. Oh, look at that. I have to reload his gun. When that happens, there, I just caught him. There were 17 monkeys in this level, I think, when we had when we began. Now I only have 7 left. Man, I barely blinked and it's like I already captured most of them. These monkeys are, I swear, this game is getting easier and easier. These monkeys really are giving up on trying. And look at that, there's some like sliding thing on the wall. That's magnetic, so we're gonna have to use our electromagnet. It's called an electromagnet officially, but really it's just a magnet. It's just a standard magnet you can buy at your local store, hardware store maybe, or some other store. So I don't know, where do you get magnets anyways? I really love magnets, so you know what the best thing I use about magnets are? Whenever I drop things that are magnetic, I can just use my magnet to find it and pick it up, and that actually is a really useful thing about magnets. It also helps me pick up that food trap thing I have in the sink, that magnetic food trap that's stuck in my sink and I can't get it out because it's jammed too deep in there. A magnet's a very useful thing to use or something like that. And no, of course, you have to use yet another useless gadget reason now. Doesn't seem to have any effect on this monkey at all. Oh, this banana, what do you call it, banana ring or something? I forget what it's called now. It emits the scent of bananas. Another useless gadget, doesn't really do anything at all. There actually are quite a few gadgets this game that do absolutely nothing. And that's probably why they omitted them from the next game. Or also be too, because the next game has a very different philosophy on what kinds of useful gadgets you could use, which is something they should do. And they really should, like expand what the games are, kind of not just simply redo stuff that's done in previous games. Which Ape Escape 3 really is very original in that sense, and that's part of, well, you're going to see that in my Ape Escape 3 Let's Play when I eventually get to that. I keep talking about Ape Escape 3, it's a really good game, but this game is really good too. Look at that, I think those ones are, oh yeah, those ones that just fire cannons out their snout, out of their noses, those pig things. I wonder why they use pigs to model all the enemies in this game. What do pigs have to do this game? I mean, I know pigs are the main villains in the Blinks the Time Sweeper, and its sequel Blinks too, which are Xbox exclusives. But still, like, since when were pigs considered to be enemies in these games? I don't know, why are pigs enemies anyways? What did pigs ever do to us? Or what was the significance of pigs? Maybe perhaps it's a reference to something I don't know, maybe, or it's a reference to something obscure, or maybe something that's big in Japan. I mean, these games are made in Japan, and those tend to be, and they often do put Japanese cultural things into these games. So there's like a slight fork in the road, well, not really a fork in the road, but it's like a slight like great divergence path where you go one way or the other. So we go into this tank that looks like an elephant. I think Dr. Phil may have made this. You can see Pipachi is gonna sit in the back right there. He can do absolutely nothing. Yeah, they could have put like a back turret on here that maybe Pipachi could use to fight against the enemies and that help shoot down enemies with. But no, they didn't do that. The people that made this were lazy, so they just have him simply sit there and do absolutely nothing. Well, and again, we actually go through the last several levels without him, so I don't think we really need him that much, actually. He actually is kind of redundant in a way. Kind of was just some extra gimmicky thing they thought they could put in this game to really add depth to the Ape Escape series. He said, we destroy these walls. This is a lot like the Spectre's factory level from the first Ape Escape, where you just drive around the tank and shoot down the walls. Destroy the walls. There's those rolling boulders down there too. Those can destroy our tank. If we drive away from them or stay to the side here, they're not going to hit our tank. They're actually just going to go off in their own direction then. This tank is kind of slow actually, and it's not really that cool. Firepower wise, it's actually pretty decent. And it has like a bit, I think it's just like the tank, pretty much mostly the same. I think it's a tank from the original Ape Escape, I think. Which is again another thing they reused from the original. Maybe they liked the original so much, they thought, let's just copy it. We did something good once before, let's try making something good again with it or something. I mean, that's probably what they thought when they made this game. Maybe to some extent they want to keep what made the original good, which, I mean, I guess you give them praise, right? Give them credit for that. At least they didn't at least it didn't deviate far from the first game. Like, going to make a completely different game that just doesn't work or something like that. It's better to copy something that's good than it is to try something that's completely new and different and then have it fail on you. I guess I see where their point was, because this game for the most part it does have a lot of the same beats as the first game. It does reuse a lot of stuff from the first game too. This almost is like the original Ape Escape if it was made a few years later and it was on the PS2 instead. And so, of course, you just got a lot of coins there, because this game never has a shortage of coins. And so there's still only a few more monkeys left. And so, look, I guess that guy's a window washer or something, and actually he's hanging on that window thing. He's probably gonna clean the windows or something like that. I believe there's a monkey hiding in that traffic light as well, too. It looks like a traffic light doesn't even work. Maybe it looks like a shell of an old dysfunctional traffic light saying that. So we're going to another office building. I wonder what's in this building. I bet this is how the people commute to work. We have to climb up these poles and do like acrobatic jumps. Man, Hikaru really is some sort of superhero. If he could jump on these poles and jump off of them and stuff like that, he really does have like some super. I mean, that does really take some like really superhero skills kind of thing. Maybe he did get bit by a spider when he was younger and didn't remember it, or he did get hit by something. I don't know, maybe he breathed in too much nuclear radiation or something like that. There's only one more monkey left in this level. Looks like this is a cafe. I mean, I'm sure some office buildings have cafes and number things like that. Looks like an old cafe. So we need to go and use our slingback shooter again and shoot at that button thing there. Because this game still makes us shoot at buttons at this point, even though we now have the... Oh yeah, I have to use a magnet now. I still find it annoying that if you want to switch weapons or switch gadgets on the same button, you have to actually press select to pause the game and then switch it. Which I said before, that's kind of annoying. But then again, now that I've been playing all the classic Mega Man games on the NES again, I'm starting to become a bit more accustomed to that. And it's actually starting to become more of a normal thing. But still, I would expect better from a game on this era. But again, this game already does a lot that's good, pretty much. At least it follows quality control standards. At least it's not like a broken up game. I mean, this game is by no means a bad game. It's a really good game, actually. But people seem to give it praise for that, though. It's like the first game does. But again, the first game was considered to be a legendary classic, and this game is trying to live in its shoes, kind of like fill had big shoes to fill. It's trying to live in its shadow. But nevertheless, like I said, this is still like a really entertaining experience. I still recommend for all fans of Ape Escape. So now we captured all this monkeys we need to capture in the skyscraper level. This is Ryari Fishimitsu, signing out.